Yeah. And when they want to push, quite honestly, communism, and none of them have waited days in line in Venezuela in a bread line or to get one cup of rice.
No. We're starting with a look like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Evan, I'm happy to see you.
You know, there's a lot worse things I could be mistaken for than Evan.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Matt?
we graduated, you know, from, you know, the first 5 years of, oh, you're Matt's friend.
How is it being Matt's friend? God, I love him.
Yeah.
He's great.
What's he like in person?
Yeah.
Well, you know, every line he says is a joke, like in one of his videos.
Yeah.
Like he speaks in jokes.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that. Like hanging around Matt, everything he says is a joke.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
Dude, I wish I was hanging around him right now. I've been following your social media just because, like, sometimes you post pictures with Matt.
Mm-hmm,
it's super awesome to see when you do that.
I try to give him his privacy more and more, you know, kind of bringing it back. And, you know, maybe even introducing people to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they're into it. But,
you don't know if they're into it.
I
mean, percentages don't lie. You know, Matt's at about to be 1 million followers on Instagram. I'm about 170,000. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's 17%.
So is that 17? Seems high. I thought it'd be lower.
I did too.
Yeah.
There's that 1.7%.
I think it's 17%.
So if he's at 1 million and I'm at 100, yeah, that's 17%. I would say so. 17% of the people that like Matt like me. Yeah. That's pretty low. It's below a quarter.
Yeah. What is it about you that you think makes you unlikable compared to Matt?
Well, Matt's very pretty.
Yeah.
Very in shape. Yeah. He's like, you could appreciate him for his fitness advice probably. And honestly, with fitness being one of the most popular things on Instagram, I would say that's probably something that is why he succeeds a little bit more in the popularity realm of, you know, fitness.
Yeah. I think there's more to it, but I think you're on to a good start. By the way, your gym you just showed me under construction looks super dope. I think you might be knocking Matt off his fitness throne before too long.
That would mean I have to use the gym, though. Just to build the gym. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, when was the last Grace video you saw me make?
Yeah.
It's been a while. I got that camera room over there with everything ever, you know, I'm good at just setting it up. I'm good at just getting ready.
Now I'm on to you. So you're doing this giant expensive virtue signal of here's my gym, show people. You get like the personality credits. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
I just hit the table. I'm not supposed to.
I think the table was okay. You're just not supposed to grab there is what Dave said.
Okay. And Dave also said, don't talk about the mics and hitting the table.
Yeah. So he said on the show, don't mention that because he doesn't want them to know that there were rules with the mics.
Yeah. Dave also said not to mention him by name. He wants to remain anonymous.
Yes.
So
Dave
make sure
Reardon
we don't do that.
Did not want us to mention him at all.
Who?
Dave Reardon.
Dave Reardon.
Yeah. That's who didn't want us to mention him.
I think it's respectful that we won't.
Well, here we are. We're in my bar right now. You know, middle of the day. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're in nightlife.
Yeah.
But I'm here with none other than Mr. JP Sears, who's also here with me. But he's here to talk about something very special coming soon.
Well, I appreciate you throwing me that softball. And there is something very special. It's my special. Which by definition is pretty freaking special.
And which by definition makes you here with me to tell me about the special.
I appreciate you putting it in Kamala Harris terms. We're here.
So as you can see, JP is here. He's here with me.
Yeah.
And I'm here with him.
Yeah. And him and I together makes us, and us are here.
Us are here.
And I don't mean to like project the wrong pronoun onto you. I know you haven't been going by us lately. But yeah, dude, I'm super excited. I've got my comedy special coming out called Please Censor This.
Ooh.
Released on October 25th, which might be right now, soon to
Probably
be.
today.
Or,
yeah. This could be October. We identify as October 25th.
Comes out today.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, please censor this.
So how do you watch it?
You like with your eyes,
okay.
I think is the best way to watch it. We don't have the Braille version coming out. That's going to take a little while with all the CGI for the Braille texterity.
Yeah.
But a couple of fun things. Answer your question, you can go to pleasecensorthis.com.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the standalone special and then also the Freedom Lovers VIP special edition.
Whoa. Can we get into the bonus features on this?
We can.
Because I'm not just the standard special type of guy.
Well, the bonus features add up to a normal retail value of $15,798.
Wow.
But for the release, we're doing a massive discount.
Really? How much?
Like it's a 99.98% discount off the normal retail price.
Oh.
These bonus features. But yeah, bonus features. We've got a behind the scenes on the ranch discussion with myself and the director of the special, Mr. Brent Pella, who we've all grown to know and
Director
love.
debut
Debut
of a comedy special.
Dude, I have to say, watching Brent direct the special and the bonus features, he's one of my best friends. I've known he's a genius, comedic genius and creative genius, but watching how he directed this special, like, he's wiser than I thought he was. He knocked it out of the park. There's no comedy in the special. It's all bad jokes. But with the directing, it actually looks pretty darn good.
He was able to make comedy out of bad jokes.
We edited in his jokes. Fun fact, during the filming of the special, I had Brent open for me. And, he's directing. He was there all day working with the film crew. And then as he's opening, he's, doing his jokes, but also his director's mind was still very on the ball. And there were a couple seats in the middle of the room that the people hadn't shown up yet. And Brent's director's mind saying, well, that could be on camera. We want people there. So in the middle of jokes, he was creating this segue to bring people down from the balcony to move into those seats, but he made it all flow. It was just amazing. He said that was the most schizophrenic he's ever felt in his life because he's doing comedy, he's directing, he's moving people all in one cohesive
trying to
way.
make it look natural.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I recently experienced Brent's direction. And one thing I would love to say about Brent and what I really like how he directs is when he gets it, he knows he got it and he moves on.
Yeah.
And I love that. Brent's not a let's do 14 more for safety guy.
Yeah.
Like Brent he stops everybody to review. He reviews, and if he has it, he moves on. And it makes for a very fast-paced set. Very, very fun. Like, I really love that about working with him.
Yeah, I would imagine because he's been doing his own thing on YouTube for a while, where when you do that, you're the director, you're the actor, you're everything. And I'd imagine that sort of nitty-gritty experience is what lets him come into a bigger production like he's doing with Black Rifle, or did for my special as well, and just cut through the crap. Like, all right, we got it. We don't need to do anything else. And I love it.
No, his DP that he had out was on fire. Like, it was a great,
double penetration on set?
Double.
Damn. I thought that would violate some kind of human resource code.
How do you think all the porn companies get around? Like, what HR law do they fall under? I've always asked that because I went out. I was on a trip to LA once, and I got invited to one of the big. I cannot remember for the life of me what it was called.
But it was a porn gathering?
Yeah. Well, a company. It was a big brand that owned like 30 sub-brands, which everybody's familiar with. I just can't think of what.
Well, I'd like to pretend I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah.
But
anyway, I went to their main office, and their main office every Friday. One Friday a month, they celebrated where some of the actresses that did the best that month got a pair of shoes, these special shoes that were really nice, like these gold. Girls would know like immediately. Oh my God, they got those gold, something that the girls loved. So they presented these shoes. So first off, I walk in there. There's a DJ playing, and this is also, it looks like an office, like just an office building. There's a DJ playing rap music. There's a live violinist playing violin to the rap music.
Bringing the classical vibe to the porn community.
Yeah. There is about 8 girls in, Vixen is what it is. Okay. is the place, what it was called. So, because I was going to say, there are 8 girls in underwear that say Vixen on it. And they're all just dancing on a couch with each other. And then like there was a large row off yonder over here of like 10 editing computers. And there was probably 8 middle-aged women just editing hardcore porn. And then like the rest of the office was gathered around at this party for a bunch of chicken wings, and this dancing. And then they did the whole presentation of the 2 pairs of shoes to the Vixen Angel of the Month, which is, that's what was going through my head is what, and while I was there, like just milling around and like listening and hanging out and saying hi and stuff like that. Like I watched like one of the people in the company approached one of the girls and was like, "Hey, this person called and wants to know if you'll do a video with them." And she's like, "Oh yeah, that would be great." And like, "Okay, I'll let them know that we're good. We're good for that." Oh yeah. And this other guy called and wanted to know if he could get with you too. She's like, "Oh yeah. I've been wanting to find, try and get a hold of him as well." And so I'm like, okay, under what HR law? Like, where does this fall? Because in your business, your boss is walking to you and going, "Hey, this person wants to bang you."
Yeah.
You dig or no dig?
That's basically what it is. And when you break it down, forgive me, I know most of Black Rifle's audience is in the porn industry, so I don't want to like step on any toes. But when you break it down,
or familiar with the porn industry,
the only difference between that, what you just described, and prostitution is it's legal to do it as long as it's being filmed. So it's like Hunter Biden. I don't think he really slept with prostitutes. He filmed it all, so it technically should be legal, but man, that is a weird line. By the way, based on what criteria were they awarding the porn stars of the month?
Now, the grading criteria, I was not able to decipher because they already know it. I don't know if it's who had the best releases that month or not, but they all seem to also expect the 2 that got the Angel of the Month. Like, I think everybody was like, "Oh yeah, they deserve that one this time." I'm not sure. Yeah. Like, I'd have to. I heard that the guy that had initially invited me out there that used to own it, I heard he left. Like, he went through the grapevine. I heard that like he went down south to Mexico or something and did a ayahuasca retreat and like came back and was like, I'm out of the industry, sold it and left. Like, yeah, interesting.
I could imagine. I mean, you look at, and I'm not even thinking about guys in the porn industry. Guys are just filthy animals. But I think of the girls like that. That was
humans are filthy animals.
They are. Guys are more filthy. But the girls at some point, they were a young, innocent little girl, someone's daughter. And I would imagine, I don't know, but something would have happened along the way that made them seek being paid to have sex with guys on camera as a way of life and leveraging that for profit, speculating about leveraging someone's trauma for profit wouldn't feel good. So a guy does ayahuasca, maybe wakes up and sees, oh, that's what I've been doing. Like this, I can't do this
But also
anymore.
too, like he probably goes, this is not the legacy. This is not what I want to be remembered as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe that, and that's another thing is like, yeah, it is. Like I've always wondered too, like when I see certain stars, you know, at appearances or signing autographs, it's like everybody that walks up to you has seen everything about you.
Yeah.
And seen you do crazy shit. Like, how is that not like kind of creep you out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somebody walking up and going, I love your work. How are you not a woman going, yucky?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
and I love freedom. I love that guys are free to do that if they want.
Talking about this from a psychological standpoint. Yeah, how do you look someone in the eye, especially some of the caliber of people that are coming up to them for the autograph? Like, let's just call a spade here.
Wouldn't it be weird if she, the porn star, is creeped out by men who watch porn? Yeah. Which is obviously what you're saying. And
I mean, it's a mind fuck because you have to be engaging. You have to be nice to your fans because your fans are essentially what drives your value. Because as you go up in value, because you're more popular and more people love you, like, but then no kidding, you have to sit there as this guy. I love your work. Yeah.
And he's at the minimum semi-aroused.
Probably. Like, and then she's just like, yeah.
I remember back when I would do some comedy videos on yoga and things like that. Yeah. Sometimes when someone would want a picture, they'd be like, oh, can you do that yoga pose from that video and we'll do it together? Wonder if her fans ever do that kind of thing. Like, oh, you know how that you blew that guy? Like,
well, no, that's a thing. That's a thing. There's a lot I've seen, quite a few times. There's some of the actresses will like randomly pick a fan and be like, you want to go back with me? Wow. Like I've seen it. Like it's wild.
Wow.
But I mean, what a lucky fucking day for that person. You know what I mean? Like you show up to get an autograph from your favorite adult film actress and she's just like, hey, you've been randomly selected to come try me out.
I will not give you an autograph, but I will give you something way more than that.
I mean, that's the ultimate fan experience right there.
It is. That's an immersion at many levels.
Like, how do you, wow. Like, there's a lot to wrap your head around here.
And we're trying.
I know.
We're really trying.
I kind of want to ask some of these questions. Like what's going through your head when someone goes, I love your work?
Yeah.
Because essentially the code is, hi, I've jerked off to you.
That's 100% what the translation is. Yeah. And if you told me like, hey, JP, I jerk off to you, which you told me before we were recording, so I won't.
But that's old. I've said that so many times.
You have. But like the first time I heard it from you, it is, creepy, the word you used. Yeah. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the wording. So I have engaged in self-love to your manner.
You've brought me so much pleasure as I bring myself pleasure. We're a great team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's the implication of what's not being said. And therefore...
So I'm still like on this, like, I'm trying to empathize here. I'm trying to put myself in their seat. Like, where is your comfort level when people are coming up to you and saying this? Yeah. Like, okay, let's flip the scene here. A bunch of hot soccer players and cheerleaders that are all like in college and early or late 20s, early 30s, just keep coming up to you and going, man, I keep getting off to you. Like, do you feel good? Or are you like, whoa, do you feel empowered?
So I would be slightly uncomfortable, slightly empowered. I think the fact that I'm married would probably be the gravitas of most of my discomfort.
Yeah.
If I live in a world where I'm single and women are telling me that, I don't think I feel creeped out. Yeah. I feel like there's some aggression coming at me that's welcomed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wouldn't feel, aside from being married, I wouldn't really feel creeped out if women are doing that to me. I would feel surprised.
Because I had one event like years ago when I was single. We were doing this big meetup, and I got there right when we started, and there was a girl there that was there for it, and she beelined right to me and just says, "Are you here with anybody?" And I go, "No, I'm just here by myself in town." She goes, "Great. I'm going home with you." And I was like, okay.
Yeah. So obviously that's the ideal scenario. But when a woman is that forward, also something would go through my mind like, all right, like, is she also a serial killer? Because like usually there's some level of subtlety to things, some level of...
Is this a lure? I didn't think of that. I wasn't on my game.
Yeah. There's like this thing of like, it might be too good to be true. So like, is she wanting to kill me, set me up?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
take a
here
kidney.
you are.
Yeah.
She did not want to kill you.
She did not. But that was the first time that's ever happened. And it also was just like, well, okay. Like,
yeah.
go through, that's all I could say. That's literally the response. I was like, I had to process what just happened.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, none of us at this table are Matt Best. That kind of thing doesn't happen to me.
Early Tuesday, mid Tuesday, late Tuesday.
I think if that happens,
poor Matt. Like it's like someone just invented a cat throwing machine.
Yeah. The poor guy. He's in therapy for just dealing with that adversity. But I think, because I've always had zero game, so I think my response would have been 10 times more awkward than yours. I'd be like, well, could you explain? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Do you want me to book another room?
Yeah. Are you homeless? You want to go home with me? On this porn tangent, I appreciate you asking about my special. By the way, on my special segue, man, I made it for people who love freedom.
Yeah.
If someone loves freedom, I think you'll like the special. If you love communism, you'll hate the special. But man, being a voice for the people, which, not all people, but people who love freedom. I've had the privilege of representing their voices in some ways, much like Black Rifle and other amazing freedom fighters do. Because I think the voice of the people, it's so underrepresented now with all the media censorship, corporate interests infiltrating the media. I find people want their voices represented, and that's what I tend to do in my day-to-day work. And then this special is a culmination of all that completely uncensored.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to rattle cages.
Yeah, I would think the distribution of this special wasn't easy. Netflix, Amazon, they'd want no part of it because I'm doing comedy on stuff you're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle says that's not true. That's not real.
What's not real?
There is no off limits.
Exactly.
Items.
And in fact, I was just in Philadelphia doing shows, and in the green room at the comedy club, there's a big picture of Dave Chappelle. He signed it. And on the picture, he wrote, "Dear comedians, you have one job. Tell the truth. That's all you got to do." And I think he really is the leader in that. But then you've got all this censorship, people trying to do that. I wouldn't even be able to put this special on my own YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
It'd get me deplatformed.
Yep.
So I like to go in hard and what I want to talk about.
I invite it.
Yeah.
Why not? What are we so afraid of?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is we're not like recently, we just saw the Encinitas school board meeting.
I watched that last night.
So did we get an answer out of them? Because that woman demanded to hear. I didn't see the reverse though. Did you?
I didn't see.
So why that should be automatic firing. Like, you've lost your job now. If you don't want to comment when they straight up ask, how do you on any planet think that this is okay for our kids? And if you don't provide an answer, fired.
I agree.
If you provide an answer and it's dog shit, fired. Like, we need to start firing people.
Yeah, accountability. That's what we need. And I think with so much of this horse shit that's going on with bringing dangerous indoctrination to children in freaking schools of all places.
What is the mission here?
You got to ask yourself that question. And there has to be accountability, because if there's not, there's no end. Whatever their mission is, it's at the expense of children's innocence, their sovereignty, their minds. There has to be accountability. And I think that's starting. I don't think the weasels that sit on a school board and let things happen, I don't think they're necessarily stepping up with the self-responsibility to have accountability. But I think the people are starting to create that accountability by posting videos like that, making demands. Have you been, on that note, following the Vanderbilt hospital in Tennessee?
The one, the children reassignment surgery stuff?
Yeah. So Matt Walsh, he exposed these videos from them, behind the scenes, their, administrators talking to their doctors. This is how much money we get for these gender reassignment surgeries. This is how much money we get putting kids on hormone blockers. If you have a conscientious objection to any of this, there's going to be consequences, and Vanderbilt won't be the place for you to work. And then,
why hasn't this hospital been burned to the ground?
Well, that's a good question. But with Matt Walsh and then some others helping expose this, now that hospital has announced they're pausing all gender reassignment surgeries on minors. Now, I don't think that's the end game. It's just a pause.
Yeah, but pausing, no.
That's a scent of accountability starting to be seen and noticed, because they obviously felt a lot of pressure. So the voice of the people.
They need to feel more fear.
Yeah.
Is what they should be feeling. Because they're about to wake up a beast.
Yeah. I mean, you're a father. You have daughters. Yes, I'm a father. I have son. And the amount of lives we would take in order to protect our children, if that was necessary, us being willing to give our own lives in the name of protecting our children, I think that's probably like the energy that would do that, I think is the strongest energy in our human nature. And that's what they're waking up.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think like, all right, you'd be a force of nature.
And also, and that's the thing. What is comical to me is the weakest side of this country is poking the strong side.
Isn't that weird?
And
the very well armed side.
Yeah, it's not going to fucking play out well for them. I'll tell you that. Like, again, like these people have become so spoiled to the way of life behind the borders of the United States.
Yeah.
Because I've never met a liberal left-leaning person that has been to a third world country.
Yeah.
Like, I've just never met one. Anyone that has the same strong agendas and opinions that are being pushed by woke culture, the first question I ask, have you ever been outside the United States? The answer is always no. So there's a fucking big pattern there.
Yeah.
Of they have never seen what happens in the rest of the world.
Yeah. And when they want to push, quite honestly, communism, and not all of them are calling it that, but when you look at the policies they want to push, it's communism. And none of them have waited days in line in Venezuela in a bread line or to get one cup of rice.
No, they think
it. And then some people get killed after they get their cup of rice because someone else wants to take theirs, and there's no accountability. So, before the whole pandemic, I was so
that whole thing's falling apart now.
Do you see the recent European trials with Pfizer or the hearings?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, but you and I have been saying this since day one, which is really funny because I never budged. I was never like, oh no, this seems real. Nope.
Same.
This seems like a cash grab and they're trying to figure out like, because I saw people I knew that had no medical background started making mountains of money by setting up testing, like pop-up testing sites. Like, and then pushing to go outside the borders to set up and was just making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
But this was somebody that had no background in medical supply company or management or nothing like that. Now all of a sudden it's like they're getting rich.
And, even if we pretend, hey, there's no evil agenda here, no agenda to use this as a freedom grab. But at the very least, if someone just followed the money trail,
yes,
you have pharmaceutical companies, and we find 25% of all drugs that are FDA approved eventually get recalled because they're proven to be too dangerous. Even after the company, I don't know why I'm using the company fits, does their own safety trials, the drug 25% get recalled. And then you look at Pfizer, they've paid the largest criminal fine in U.S. history of $2.3 billion. That's not just a fine, that's a criminal fine. And then when they're doing the most rushed treatment in the world, you don't even step back and wonder, okay, is their motive maybe about the money? Not people's best interest. And then or do
we just give them something to shut them up?
Yeah, wouldn't it be great? Like, hey guys, I know you're going to really screw people over for money. Let's just give you money and don't screw the people over. We'll be better off. But then I think it was, as of this recording just yesterday, the European hearings, lady with Pfizer, she admitted we did not do any testing to verify that this
transmission
stops transmission. So the house of cards that we saw was in fact the house of cards. It's crumbling.
Yeah.
And that's great.
I love it.
I love it too.
But, we're going to see it again. Here's the thing, question. At the end of the day, I really think this is a population thing. We've gotten so big now, the world leaders or the World Economic Forum, these guys are all trying to make their plans to shrink the population.
Yeah.
Because it's not sustainable. We're collapsing the oceans, fisheries, we're running out, we're cutting down our air filters.
It's not a good idea.
So what do?
Yeah.
That's kind of we're at that tipping point, I think. We don't have a cap on how many kids you're allowed to have and things like that. Whereas nobody ever really planned on the whole, hey, this planet can only sustain so many of us.
I question that now though, because one narrative is we're overpopulated based on what the planet can sustain. Now, there's certainly pollution that there should be no excuse for. We need to pollute less for sure. But let's just say we start doing that. I do question, are we really overpopulated? I know a couple months ago, Elon Musk came out and I don't take what he says as gospel, but he had the perspective of we're not even close to being overpopulated. I think he said we should have 15 billion people on Earth.
Sure.
So,
we're at the highest point that we've ever been. So again, obviously there's going to be, and the problem is we just don't have smart people as leaders.
Jared, how dare you? So I don't know for sure, but I do now question the planet being overpopulated. Is that true? Maybe. Or is it just one of the narratives that
is that
foster the ability
utilized.
for elites to control common people. By the way, I put my application in with the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
I want to become an elite.
That's pretty cool.
I hate being controlled. I want to do the controlling.
I want to do the controlling.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about joining?
You know, I've never thought about it, but I sometimes have those moments where I get it. Generally when I'm boarding an airplane.
Yeah.
And when I see other people that are so far removed from just general IQ and just like understanding their situation and
no self-awareness.
No self-awareness. Somebody that is boarding an airplane that is getting into their bag that they need to put above them as you're in the aisle. Like that is the worst
people behind
human being on the planet. You are an idiot. You do not plan forward at all. You had no forethought that you needed your headphones out of your suitcase before you got to your seat. And then let's not fucking overlook how difficult a letter and a number is.
Yeah.
How many people fuck that up?
And then...
no, my seat says 19 Delta. Ma'am, you're in 34.
And then they find the right seat and start watching videos on their phone without headphones in.
Yeah. Oh, that happened on the flight attendant had to tell somebody like 3 times. And I even spoke up because she did the whole passive of, hey, if you are watching something without headphones, you need to not do that. By the 3rd time I go, hey, we don't need to be anonymous. Just point right at them and call them out. And everybody's like,
Those are the people that should own nothing and be happy about it.
And I've said this before too, like people trying to get out faster behind me. And I turn around, I go, this is basic physics. You have time and space. You don't have space here. You got time. So you're going to wait. Like, fuck off.
And then standing up on the plane first and the door's not going to open for 5 minutes.
Guys.
So those are the experiences that make you
it's those things where it's like, I'm sharing resources with this person. And I don't want to anymore.
I like this. So
that person is guzzling gas. They're making trash. They're breathing air. And it's just like, you serve nothing to the greater good.
I like where you're going with this. So if we're the Texas Economic Forum,
yes.
We should
start it. Could you imagine? We should hold a press conference.
We definitely should. We should address like those Klaus Schwab, James Schwab.
Yeah, we could have some fluff.
Yeah,
and I could have a monocle.
That'd be great.
Okay, so I'll rock the monocle. You should have some sort of hat.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get a hat.
Yeah.
Different than this.
I think we get you a hat.
So what we stand for is obviously global initiatives, which is super specific.
Yeah.
So at the Texas Economic Forum, we stand for global initiatives. And to achieve that goal, one of the things we need to do, based on what you're saying, obviously I agree, we need to not only depopulate, but specifically depopulate dumb people that show up on airplanes. How do we do that?
Okay, so I think we start with a survey.
Okay.
So we're going to need to get some mailers out. Yeah. We're going to need to hire a data collection specialist.
Great.
Yeah, DCS. Like a really good one.
Yeah, DCS.
Yeah. And then we'll start gathering some info and then we'll run some sort of promotion on like Spirit Airlines.
Is there anybody on those planes that shouldn't be carbon neutral, if you will? Spirit, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I hereby nominate you to be the head of the Texas Economic Forum. I don't even want to compete.
I think there needs to be
vision.
No, I think we need official titles rather than, because the Texas Economic Forum, like you need to be probably like the chief executive of, new population.
New Population Initiatives.
Yes, New Population is
chief executive of New Population
CENP.
Initiatives.
The Kemp.
And what
the SEMP.
what do you think your title should be?
I will be current population control. So, your new population, I'm existing. So it's an EP, existing population measure. Existing chief of existing population filter measure.
What if you were chief unifier of new technologies, or cunt?
Yeah, because I could use our data collection specialists as a part of a mobile app. It's new. Chief unifier of new technologies.
Yeah. We'll be doing this for a good cause. Unlike the World Economic Forum.
No, I think we should just take out billboards around Texas that is advertising you and I holding the Texas Economic Forum.
And I could imagine we're in our outfits. Yeah. You're in a chair and I've got my hand on your shoulder standing up.
And there's a button. No one knows what the button's for, but there's a button right there. It's like, why?
And at the bottom, it just says, "You'll be sorry if you don't."
Yeah.
Just strike that into people.
Yep.
I think there's no question that the world needs more fear-mongering.
Yes.
And I think if we can bring the right fear-mongering initiatives to the global population of Texas, it'll make a difference.
Agreed. I think we need to bring fear into people out of things that they never thought that they needed to fear.
People are so blind to what they need to fear.
Yeah, we can find new things for them to fear.
Like cats?
Yeah, and dogs.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if all of a sudden we flipped and there was a fear of all cats and dogs?
There's several. So here's how we need our statistic analysis.
Our chief data specialist.
CS. We need them to pull the stats of how many wild cats kill people each year. Mm-hmm. And then
inflate that number.
Yeah, well, kind of like, how people who die with COVID are definitely a COVID death?
Maybe we don't. Maybe we pull it strictly from Cat Island outside of Japan.
I love that.
Yeah, because then we're going with a very kind of saturated number.
Yeah.
Because Cat Island is nothing but cats.
And what people need to know is this is just the rate of death caused by cats. They don't need to know specifics of like it was a tiger. But I think that will really help protect people with fear.
Yeah. And we can halt the movement of cats in the state of Texas via the Texas Economic Forum. We have our first victory.
And that's not even to mention all the disease spread by cats. Like Lyme disease.
Their claws are riddled with litter.
Literally litter.
Yeah.
Feline leukemia is big amongst those who identify as cats.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I don't mean to put the cart ahead of the horse. Forgive me. But what's our stance on climate change? Do we want more of it or less of it?
I would say we want to nurture it because it's obviously a natural phase.
Yeah.
We can't be interrupting naturality. So we need to come to the table and have a real voice for letting the natural phases take their natural course.
Yeah, like that.
But as we become the Texas Economic Forum, what's going to be our, how people put their stamp on things? Like what comedy special will we be endorsing?
No,
it's the TEF.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, because it's our names on the line. So if there's like one comedy special that we're putting forth in front of everybody else to promote freedoms of the TEF, which one is it going to be?
Well, I would say either Ali Wong's latest special about feminism, or we could do mine. Please censor this.
Yeah, I think that one kind of falls in line with our charter a little bit more. Yeah, I think that one's better. So let's go ahead and gavel down on that. Please Censor This is our official comedy special that we endorse as the TEF.
Yeah.
You're looking at both members of the TEF right now. We're recruiting. If you can just
call this
number if you would like to join. We have important things to talk about. Our next meeting is discussing, the boarding of planes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Texas is a border state. We're obviously now the non-elected leaders of Texas. What's our border policy?
It needs to be strict.
Yeah.
We need to be the border.
Yeah. Nobody gets out.
The definition of border needs to be withheld.
Yeah.
I
like that.
Yeah.
The border. So the border is also partly in the mind.
Yeah.
And there comes that, which means we need to censor people, like create borders on unapproved thoughts that don't fit our agenda.
Unapproved border thoughts. We are specific, not general.
Yeah.
It's a micro level of censorship.
Yeah.
Like really getting down the soda straw.
Like, we probably shouldn't tell people not to say certain things. We should just tell them they're not allowed to say certain things. Or because we don't want to infringe on what they think is freedom.
They're not allowed to say anything. We can
noise pollution. So we cut that down.
Yeah. It's part of nurturing the climate to change.
Yeah.
But I think I feel like we have been quite asleep at the wheel because we're not directing the climate which way to change. This summer was very hot. Yes. I would like more rain and a little less temp here in Texas. So we need to get hot on this now so it's already in play by next year. Because have you submitted where you want the climate to be?
I would love, so seasonal changes, of course, but summertime highs, I'd love a nice lukewarm 84 degrees.
Yeah. Have you submitted that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I didn't know where
we need to do that.
So
we have to put our submissions in. We can't be upset.
Where is the climate's headquarters? Because I don't know where to send the submission.
Sweden?
Is it Sweden?
Yeah.
Probably.
Where's it? Green Greta? Where she live?
Yeah.
Sweden?
Yeah. She might be on a sailboat made out of carbon fibers.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is something though.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Greta. Like, she's got a lot of fire. Not a lot of self-awareness, but a lot of fire.
A lot of fire.
Yeah.
You got to promote it.
She sailed across the ocean on a boat someone else was driving.
Yeah.
Someone else paid for too.
Yeah.
Showed up and yelled at people four times older than her. I like her style.
You know what? It's almost up to par with, an F1 driver wearing a climate change helmet.
Because they're burning jet fuel.
As you're burning more fuel than 1,000 humans can contribute to in a year.
Yeah.
Like, this is where we're at. Like, no one is just told that they're stupid anymore. That's where we're at. We need to start. We need to bring that back. Tell people they're stupid. I need that shirt.
Not in a way that shames people, because that's just bullying, but in a way that informs people of the reality. I do so many stupid things, and sometimes my wife points them out, and I'm better off because of it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, dude, don't put the pickles in the washing machine while it's on.
Yeah.
Thank you, babe.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know any better.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
Don't reach into your carry-on suitcase for headphones while you're taking your seat.
As Tom Hanks once said, stupid is as stupid does. Which to me is the most meaningless statement, but it really caught on. I don't think it really has much meaning.
Yeah, I'm not real sure if when you break that down now as an adult, I hear it. I'm kind of like, it's like, never pet a burning dog. What?
Yeah. It's not bad advice, but is it worth saying?
Well, I hope people got some laughs out of today.
I don't have pants on.
I think they will get more laughs out of Please Censor This.
Did I mention I have a special out?
You have a comedy special.
Please Censor This.
Apparently it's backed by the Texas Economic Forum.
It is. Trillions of dollars went into this special. Clean body count went up, but we had to do it, get this thing out. But yeah, it's available at pleasecensorthis.com. And it's just been such a joy touring the past few years, pulling together this material.
Oh, well, I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to watch it. Thank you for stopping by here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever watched a show when it's just him and I, this is what you get. We just go down these weird rabbit holes.
And you're welcome.
And if you'd like to join the Texas Economic Forum, please DM myself or JP on Instagram, and we will let you in.